Thank you very much.
Kaufman is Alive. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at a new comic book by Marvel Comics, The Ultimates #9. This is a $4.99 comic book. It's written by Deniz. Chris Allen does the interiors. He's a guest artist on this issue. I got a variant cover by Gleb Melkinov and Edgar Delgado here. Really like this cover. Kind of reminds me of like Joe Madria or something with the really long figures. Almost looks anime style or something, but really cool team shot here. Got Doom, who's Reed Richards is Doom in this universe. She-Hulk, America Chavez, Captain America, of course, and Hawkeye. So not the entire team, but just like I said, a cool team shot nonetheless. And the Ultimates line, they've always got the A cover on the interior cover, which is cool. So I like picking up the variants so I can just kind of get both pieces of artwork here. We get a little blurb telling us everything that's going on, a lineup of the team, which I like. Always having a lineup of the team is really cool. This is a solid team of the Ultimates, pretty much the Avengers, of course, of this universe, everyone you might expect. And in this issue, we meet Luke Cage for the first time. And we see that he's been in prison for 20 years, basically, since his childhood. He's got some sort of public defender here who can't really help him out at all, and he's been stuck in prison forever. And we get this 9-page panel layout throughout this entire book here, as you can see. And we just get basic stereotypical kind of prison stuff as, you know, the prisoners are getting beaten. Luke Cage is obviously a honorable person who doesn't deserve to be here. And we kind of learn that everybody else in this prison system is kind of in the same boat that Luke Cage is in, which everybody who's in prison here doesn't deserve to be, essentially, as we got Luke Cage fighting for them. We meet Danny Rand here in this panel here, the Iron Fist, although we don't, I don't see him get into any real action here. We've got Iron Man, who Tony Stark in this universe, he's known as Iron Lad. He's got these devices known as the Stark boxes, which he's been delivering to everybody who he found out are heroes in another universe. Like he did with Spider-Man over in Ultimate Spider-Man. Not every hero has accepted, though. Like we saw Clint Barton, the original Hawkeye, he declined to become a superhero, essentially. And so we've got this new Hawkeye in this universe. But here we've got the Stark boxes. He's checking it out. Tony Stark's telling him that they can help create a new world here. Luke Cage also has already learned that he's basically invincible here, as he's been beaten multiple times by the guards. They look like AIM soldiers here, but they work for the Midas Corporation. And we saw the character Midas, who is like the president of the United States here in this Ultimate universe, back in, I think it was issue 2 or 3 of the Ultimates here. So we get a super swole Luke Cage here. Iron Lad says, "They stole your future, robbed you of your destiny. Do you want it back?" So Luke Cage obviously agrees to join Iron Lad's fight here. So he starts taking over the prison. He says, "All power to the people." That becomes their rallying cry. And as he breaks out of prison, too, the panels start to come out of that 9-panel layout. It's almost like he's in prison, like they're prison bars, the 9-panel layout. Conceptually really cool. I really like the artwork and the page layout, the page design throughout this whole book. The thing that really gets me is just the story here at the end. We get this great splash page. This is really cool. I love how this is all like hand lettered. You can tell. So he's got all the prisoners on his side here. He's got all their handcuffs like wrapped around him. I guess symbolically. That's kind of ridiculous, but kind of a cool look. Definitely a unique thing to do. I like the barbed wire down here on the bottom. Awesome splash page. But as I was saying, the thing I didn't really like about this was just that basically Luke Cage tells Iron Man instead of joining the Ultimates, he's going to stay here in the prison. And they're just going to take over, and he's going to take care of all the people here in the prison. So kind of a weird story. Kind of reminds me of, how sometimes prisoners become so traumatized, they become institutionalized so much that they want to stay in prison. And that's kind of what this reminds me of, which is, I don't know if that's the message they really want to get across, or maybe that was the writer's intent here. But so we get kind of an epilogue of She-Hulk coming to Tony Stark here. She says she needs to return to her people. They need her. And this is why he can't die. That's what she's saying. She's saying, you made a promise to us, and I know you'll keep it. And then we finally see here the 9-page layout again, almost like Tony's in prison here now in the stasis pod as he's trying to recover from a battle he had with the Hulk back in issue 6, where Hulk basically maimed him here. But obviously we see Stark open his eye here on the last panel. It says 9 months remaining. That's until the Maker returns. So Tony's trying to get as many heroes together as he can and take down the Illuminati before the Maker returns. So an interesting issue. Again, I really like the conceptual design and the artwork in here. The story takes a weird turn, and it's just all Luke Cage. So, I mean, if you're not really a Luke Cage fan, probably skip this one. But I've been collecting every issue of this Ultimates series so far, and I've really liked it. That's about all I got today. Thanks again for watching. See you guys on the next one. Go read comics.